Hi everybody, it's Andrew. I wanted to do another different video, aside from my regular weekend updates. Because last time I did it, I had some fun with the my 10 questions. I won't say a tag video, but the kind of a getting to know me-ish kind of video. Plus I'm back in my car, and it's always fun. Especially when I've got an hour drive back home, so it gives me something else to do while I've got the camera sitting here on my little mount. Quick update regarding my account, regarding my channel. I realized earlier I am getting very, very close to 400 subscribers, which is freaking awesome. I honestly started these videos just really for myself. And I already had a few subscribers, I should say, from when I started my weight loss journey several years back. But then I've built it back up, kind of getting into the, VSG and the weight loss surgery community more, and it's been great. So I'm thinking once I get to 400, I'm going to do a fun video, like a very interestingly fun video. I had this, I've done it once or twice before with Ryan and also with my brother. It'll be fun, trust me. We'll have a good time. So this video is something that I tried filming a couple times and it always ran too long. So it's another 10, but it's a top 10 video, if you will. It's your 10 favorite albums of all time. This was something that a bunch of my buddies on my personal page were doing, and they were doing their top 15, and then they would tag other people, and then I did mine, maybe a couple weeks, a month ago. I thought it'd always be kind of fun to do something similar, do it on here. Just another way for everybody to kind of get to know one another and put another quick video and kind of see what everyone's tastes are. I did these in no particular order. So we'll kind of go from there, and love to see if anybody else wants to do it. I'm not going to tag anybody again, but if you want to do it, by all means, you're more than welcome. So the first couple that I put in my list are my obvious. I'm a huge Dave Matthews Band fan, so my first one is going to be Crash. It's their second album, well, third technically, but their second major major labeled album they put out, and it's got some of my favorite songs on here, especially the song I'm playing kind of in the background right now is number 41. Just awesome album. It was the album that I really got into the band. I liked them from their first one, but then I really listened to this one, and it's what got me hooked onto the group. After that is another obvious one, because I have talked about them a few times, Red, White, and Blue, These Magnificent Miles. It's one of their more recent, but it's a few years older album, but it's got my absolute favorite song from them as well, Finger in the Air. That was the song that I had on my surgery day video that I filmed. That was, during the whole photo montage, that was the song that was playing. But they are awesome guys, small, band from Columbus, and they've been guys that I've listened to, at this point for probably about 12, 13 years, and I've been seeing them live ever since. And they're just fun, easygoing, great road trip music. They are the ones, like, anytime I'm driving to West Virginia or Ohio, I will put that on and listen to them constantly. Third one, another obvious, is the Beatles. I know most people out there are Beatles fans. I know not everybody, but obviously a vast majority. My favorite Beatles album is Sgt. Pepper's. It took me a while to really get into them. It was actually kind of late high school, early college when I started really, I guess discovering them, if you will. But God, they just sounded good. And I know some people appreciate their earlier stuff. Some people more, appreciate their later stuff more. I'm kind of an in-between. I definitely have no preference for one or another, but this album has always stuck out as one that I've always enjoyed. getting into some of the rock, and then a couple metal albums after that. But getting into the rock ones, my next one is from Foo Fighters. It's The Color and the Shape. And this was their second album that had like Everlong and My Hero and Monkey Wrench. Just great tracks. I've always really enjoyed Foo Fighters. I'm really looking forward to their new one that they've got coming out here soon. But they've always just been a great rock band to me, and just ones I've always enjoyed listening to over the years, and kind of hearing how they've changed, how they've adapted, I should say. But always really sticking to just good, just really good, well put together, well produced, rock albums. But yeah, this one was the one that really kind of did it for me. I back, like, it was in high school, it was in high school, early high school, when Monkey Wrench came out, and I was like, God, that song was just fun. I enjoyed it so much. So this one is actually the most recent album on my list. It's only maybe 2 or 3 years old. It's from Arctic Monkeys. It's called AM. This one is more, just cool sounding. I can't really think of any other way to say it. It just sounds cool. They have just good riffs, good rhythm, good beats. Everything that I never thought I would be a fan of these guys. I've heard of them here and there, but nothing ever really intrigued me. But then when I started listening to this one, it was just really, easy to listen to. You could groove to it, and like I said, some of the riffs that come in here and there aren't heavy, and they're not complicated, but with the rhythm of the song, it just went so well. And like I said, to me, it's just a cool album. Now getting into a couple of metal albums, the next three in particular. I do appreciate music across the board of almost any genre, to be honest. But I've always really enjoyed going to metal shows. There's just something about it in the crowd, and haven't been ballsy enough to get in like the pits or the mosh pits. I might someday. We'll see. But anyway, so moving along is Metallica's Master of Puppets. Without a doubt, my favorite Metallica album. The tracks, Master of Puppets, Battery, Damage Incorporated, among others. That to me is my absolute favorite. I know a lot of people really like the Black Album that's got Enter Sandman on it, but to me, this one was just so damn good. And then moving into that is Pantera. I didn't know who these guys were until my cousin got me into it back in junior high. I listened to this album, Cowboys from Hell, and I was like, these guys are freaking awesome. You talking about riffs, their riffs are just amazing. And they, just everything about it was just, the singer Phil Anselmo is loud and raspy, and you can't understand him half the time. But that, he seemed a bit of an opposite to the music, because the music just, like I said, the riffs and just the groove and the drums. Everything about it was just so, like, it didn't seem like it should have worked, but it worked so incredibly well. And the actual track Cowboys from Hell, oh my God, I can listen to that anytime if I want, just to get a quick just adrenaline rush, because that song just, if I'm like on the treadmill, that's always a song I'm listening to without a doubt. And then the last one on the metal albums is Slipknot's Volume 3, The Subliminal Verses. I know these guys aren't for everybody, and obviously they're really weird to a lot of people. I can understand. My wife can't stand them. But shit, they put on one hell of a show. For a live concert, they go all out for the fans. And this was an album, I think this was their third major album that, I always thought they were cool, and I always listened to them thinking I was getting away with something. But then this one just kind of changed it up for me a little bit. And again, similar with what I was mentioning with Pantera, they've got a couple songs on here that, to me, I'm always a sucker for a good riff. And on one of their songs, Before I Forget, was just one that, that the driving guitar riff, the driving, just constantly pounding in that song, I just got sucked into it immediately. And listening through that whole album, that's another one where I'm just so, I'm impressed with how they put that album together. And like I said, I know some people are going to be like, really? But hey, this is what I enjoy, and I really love that album. I love it, especially when they play some of those songs from this album live. I get really jacked. So the last two on this list are kind of the head scratchers. They were head scratchers for my friends on Facebook, and I don't blame them, because I just got done talking about metal, so now I'm going to be talking about pop. And the last one's a little bit of like a hip-hop, EDM kind of thing. This next one is from Melanie C, aka Sporty Spice. I know, head scratcher. Her album Northern Star. It was her first album that she ever released. Most people who are watching this are probably like, she even made albums? But she has. She's actually still putting out albums constantly. But this was an album that when I was in Germany in 2000, she had just put this out, and the track that she had at the time that was popular was a song that she did with Lisa Left Eye Lopez from TLC. And I just thought it was nothing Spice Girls related. It was just something different and fun, and I enjoyed it, and I just really enjoyed her voice. Solo, I just thought it was really nice. So I got the album, and I have actually all of her albums since. I don't know, she does pop albums very, very well. She also, some of her, on each of her more recent albums, she has some songs that, if you want a wedding song, like that song to dance at your wedding to, she's got some that just nail it out of the park. For Ryan and I, that was our song at our wedding was a song from her, from one of her other albums, From the Moment You Believe. And it fit so well, and it was a great building song. But like I said, it's just one you never think of. One, that she even does albums. Number two, that I'm talking about rock and metal, and then go to something kind of pseudo-obscure like that. So the last one on this list is from a group that you're going to be like, who the fuck is that? They're called Bone Funk MCs. They are, or were, I should say, a band, mostly a duo, of a guy who ran the turntables and a guy that would rap. But the music wasn't necessarily hip-hop. It was a little bit of a hip-hop, kind of EDM mix. And when I was in high school, again, this was another one that I listened to a lot when I was in Germany. And I just got so freaking sucked into him. That was another one. I left Germany with probably like 5 or 6 albums that I was just stuff I'd never heard of before. And this was one of my favorites. That it was such a different mix of genres. It was something I've never heard before, and really haven't heard since. But it was just kick-ass, just fun. And the song that I listened to was called Freestyler. And God, it was a blast. I played it for friends when I got back to the States, and they're like, how have I never heard of this before? And I made fans out of my friends, because they I would play the whole album through, and it was just fun and different, and not, you know, not that dun 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 dun, that constant bass like you would hear with a lot of dance music now. So it was just a cool sound, and it's still an album that I'll, you know, listen to and just enjoy constantly. So but yeah, so that does it. Those are my 10, and I know weird ones kind of go all over the map, but I wanted to make sure that when I put this list together that it was something that really spanned really as far back as I can remember from buying music myself. So I highly suggest that you go and do this yourself. I love to see and hear what you guys have to say about your own albums and your own favorites, and check them out myself. So I look forward to seeing that. I will be back again with an update this weekend post Halloween party, because that should be fun. I will definitely have footage of Ryan and I in our costumes, as well as fun footage from the Halloween party, because there will be for sure. Anyway, you guys have a great rest of the week, and I will see you later this weekend. Take it easy.